Welcome CSC121, Programming 1 for Spring 2023. This is your MyWarren course tour to get you started for Unit 1. Won't cover everything, but it'll get you started at least. I don't have everything together yet, but I have some of the stuff getting started for the semester. Like I said, I haven't taught this course since, I think, spring of 2020. I think I said 2021, but it was actually 2020. So it's been a while since I taught this course. So I'm getting new materials together, new resources, and recording new videos. And some of that stuff isn't ready yet, but some of it I'm recording as I speak, so including this one. So I'm giving you the walkthrough right now. So a couple things I just want to mention to start the semester. First of all, in MyWarren, the announcements. Make sure you read these. I don't put them up just because I like typing them. I try to convey a lot of information with these, and make sure you click on read more because a lot of times there's a lot of information here. So far, there's just a little blurb here about the spring semester beginning, and there's something here mentioning the YouTube playlist. Now, I just want to point this out. Here's the playlist. CSC121 Programming Spring 2023. Now, this is the old playlist of 2020, and I just renamed it 2023, and I'm populating it with new videos. So there's a new instructor welcome. That's just the one where I video myself talking to you, and also a create Replit account. There's going to be a first exercise in Replit there. Some of this stuff, Python Anywhere, we're not going to use this semester. So a lot of this stuff is older. Some of them we may use again, but I just wanted to use some of this instead of creating a whole new playlist. I just rename it to kind of get rid of the other stuff, and I'll delete some of this stuff as we go. So don't look too far ahead and think, oh, we're going to be doing this next and that next. So far, the only new videos in the playlist are my instructor welcome, the create Replit account, and the one that I'm recording right now. And I recorded a couple others which aren't in there yet, which I have to edit. So anyway, that's our playlist. It's a YouTube playlist, and that's where you'll find all your exercises throughout the semester. So that's what that's talking about. And some of these things are just stuff that I have to put up here, announcements that are required, finding your way through e-learning. That's what I'm doing right now, so I don't know if this really helps you that much. And technology needs, I just talk about the Replit IDE, which is pretty easy to use. You might have even used it in other courses. I was told there's no CARES Act, so I don't know about extra money for computers and technology needs and stuff like that. I'm told that that ended more recently, even though I still have it in my announcement here, but that's why I said to learn more about any available funds, because I don't know if they are available or not, but I've been told that they may not be. So anyway, also the Cengage book, it mentions in here, I don't have it listed yet under syllabus. It will be here under syllabus. I just have to update some things. So when you come here right now, I think by the first day of class, it'll be here. But right now, as I'm looking at it, I don't have it up here yet. It's actually here. If I go instructor view, there's an older syllabus here, and there's an older instruction about getting the Cengage materials. This will be updated by the first day of class. So you'll see a new syllabus, and you'll see new information with a course key for the Python book. Now, the Python book that we use for this, I'm not that crazy about it. It's the one that was picked for the course. It's probably the best one that Cengage has, but we're going to be using all kinds of resources. So we'll use that in addition to lots of resources that are on the web, including our first reading assignment won't be from the Python book. It'll be from the web. So there's some great resources to use, but we'll try to use the Python book that Cengage has as well. So I'll point that out later. And let's see, course information. I don't think there's anything to see here except my picture. One thing I just want to point out, I'm teaching all online courses this semester. So I'm not really on campus for a regular time period, but usually when I'll try to come in will be on Tuesdays before meetings. So if you need to meet with me on campus, just let me know by email. I'm going to set up special times that I'm available, but I'm pretty much always available by email. And if you need to do a Zoom or a GoToMeeting or anything like that, if you need to meet on campus, probably Tuesdays are probably the best time because I might have to go in there for meetings and things like that. It doesn't mean I can't do another day, but I'm just pointing that out. So I'll let you know more about that. And syllabus, I mentioned that'll be updated by the first day of class. Discussion board, you will put in a student introduction. You're going to go in here and you're going to add a post, and you're going to put a student introduction, just describing yourself, your background, what courses you've taken, why you're taking this course, and any personal information, any hobbies, anything interesting that you'd like to put in there as well. And you could also put a pick. I like when students put a pick in there. Sometimes I make it an assignment. It doesn't have to be an assignment in this course, but if you want to put a little headshot in there so I know who I'm speaking to when we email, I really appreciate that. I try to do that so you can look at mine to see what mine looks like. And in the CSC123 playlist, I even have a video on putting in a post pick. So if you're not sure of how to do that, just watch that. Just when you go in here and go to playlist under Richard Homa and just go to CSC123 for this semester, and you'll see a discussion post pick if you need to know how to do that. If not, I'm sure you know how to put a picture in there. But when you do that, when you add a post in here, I'll just put this in here right now. Now, I'm not going to finish this, but when you do that, you're just going to put your name. So I'll just put Steve Smith because I always do stuff like that. And then you're just going to put something about you in here. I always put I like horses. Not that I'm into horses, but I just, for some reason, I put horses because there's always somebody who's into horses. And then after that, you could put a pic here. And the way you do that is you just hit this insert image button when you go to do that. And then you go to source. And then you go through this Moxie Manager, you upload, and then you could find something on your computer to use. So that's how you would do that. So that's for your introduction, your student introduction. That will be for your first week. That will be your discussion board question for the first week. I'm not going to do anything here. I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to cancel that. So I don't need the I like horses in there. So that's what you're going to do for your student introduction. Under discussion board, we'll have a different discussion post each week, but for your first one, it will be student introductions, because notice it'll start with Unit 2. Now these things will change, so don't jump ahead to these yet, because these are older ones, and it even mentions Python Anywhere, which we won't use. So these will change, but they're in here kind of as placeholders for right now. Some of them are exercises that we'll do in here. So they won't just be like, oh, tell me about this and talk to me about that. Sometimes I'll give you little exercises to do in here, or give you little problem-solving quandaries that will be in here. So anyway, that's our discussion posts. Make sure you do them, because they're usually 10 points or more each, and they count as attendance for online classes. So that's your discussion board. Make sure you do them every week. So I'll have something in there for every week. Some of these say TBA, to be announced. So, just be aware of those. I'll let you know more about those as we go. Documents and resources. Let's see what copied over in here. Some of this stuff is required stuff. This is older right now. Let me go into where you see it, because I think I'm still in faculty view. So let me go into student view to see it like you would see it. Some of this stuff is going to change, because some of this stuff is older from fall 2020. Some of this stuff is required, netiquette statement, finding your way through e-learning, the student e-learning tutorial. That's what I'm doing right now. So I don't know if you really need that. But when we have notes for assignments, they will be in here as PDF format. Here's something from fall of 2020, a PDF in here. And usually I'll give you notes that look like this. Here's an exercise, string output. We're going to do something like this. It'll be a little different this semester, but you'll have notes like this that you'll be able to look through in addition to watching the videos. So some people look at these, some people don't even look at these, so that's up to you. But I try to always put notes together too, just to make sure that you have them as notes. If you take a quiz or whatever, you have stuff in here. Or some people, prefer reading instructions in addition to watching videos. So they'll be by unit and by exercise and all that. These are all older, so keep in mind, these are older. I don't have them updated. I didn't hide them or anything now, so I just kind of populated this because I haven't taught this course for a while. Now, also what's going to be in here is going to be bookmarks. As you go down, there'll be bookmarks. There'll be all kinds of resources in here. Now, these I did update. So here's your playlist in YouTube. Here's the Replit IDE. Here's a little PowerPoint I did on compiled and interpreted code and bytecode. And then there's all these resources here. And there's a lot of great books, a lot of great resources for Python. High schools use all this kind of stuff. So, just using our book that we have isn't always completely necessary. Keep in mind here, we do have a PDF version of that. So if you don't feel like going through all of this, don't tell anybody, but here is the PDF version. I just found this online. So you could just use that if you don't want to go through the whole Cengage rigmarole of that. It's just something easier, but that's kind of unofficial. So I will deny I ever showed you that, because I like doing that sometimes. Sometimes I don't like going through the whole logging into Cengage and all that. So I did find that. Unfortunately, you can't do that for all kinds of books, but that's available there if you want to check it out. Go check it out now and download it while you can. So also there's how to think like a computer scientist. There's a lot of good stuff in here. W3 schools we're going to use a lot of good stuff in here. Our first reading assignment, which I'll go over in just a minute, is going to be in here, and lots of good stuff here as we get through the semester. We'll do a little GUI type things later in the semester. So making CSV files, we'll be working with Tkinter a little bit. So all kinds of things we'll do in here as we go throughout the semester. So that's document resources. Remember, there's handouts. and there's bookmarks. So handouts are going to be the notes, and bookmarks are going to be websites that you're going to go to for either reading or resources or whatever. Attendance you don't have to worry about. Course calendar, don't really worry about. Coursework, I'm going to go to Coursework right now. Now if you go here, you're not going to see anything because nothing is open yet. Now I'll go back to instructor view just to show you what is going to be open for Unit 1. This is what you're going to do for Unit 1, so pay attention. Student survey. Now pay attention to this. You're going to fail it when you do it because it's just a survey, but for some reason when you set it up in MyWarren as a quiz, it doesn't allow you to get 100%. You'll get a 0 on it the way it's set up. And don't send me an angry email about it. I will update your grade and you will get 100% on it. But there's a survey, and it's just mainly about technology and about what you have available since you're in an online course. I don't know what everybody's working on, so I like to know. So if there's problems, I know if you're working on Mac or Windows or a Chromebook or whatever you may be doing. So that also gives me some information on what background you have, what experience you have. Did you have this in high school? Some people come in and they've already had a programming course in high school. Some people haven't had anything. So that way I kind of know what I'm dealing with the students this semester. So take that survey, you will get 100%. Email confirmation. I will send you an email from MyWarren so that I can verify that I have the right email listed in here. And don't send me an email yet until you get it from me. So I'll send it out as a batch and you'll just reply to it and I'll give you instructions on what to do. So you'll get 10 points for just doing that. So you reply to it so I know that you got an email from me. That's the only reason I do that. Student introduction, I just mentioned that. You're going to do a student introduction. The pick is optional. There's some reading here on computer and programming history. Now when you go into here, now I'm back in this mode here. Let me just show you the link. I don't know why it gets cut off in here when I look at it this way, but it's going to be at this website, Object-Oriented Programming in Python. It's called Python Text Bach, which seems wrong. Now this is from some other book, but this is a really nice, concise introduction. So that's why I'm having you read this rather than go through the Cengage book for now. It has a nice introduction. It goes through some computer history. We don't do a lot of computer history in 103, so we do it here. So it talks about components of the computer and a little bit of history, some things about the CPU. Some of this is probably just review, but I want to make sure that you go through some of this before we dig into programming. We'll just kind of get some background of this. And this is pretty concise, pretty easy to read kind of stuff. Shouldn't be too hard. And then I will have a little quiz on it. And I think I go up to, just so you know, I think I go up to basically algorithms. I don't get into any of the Python stuff in here. I think I just get into the basics. So I think I'll tell you where to stop. I don't get into developing a Python program or understanding the problem or coming up with an algorithm. I think we stop right about with compilers, interpreters, and the Python programming language as far as the reading goes. So the quiz is very basic and very easy. So there's going to be a quiz in here. Let me just go back here so you see where I'm at under Unit 1. And again, Unit 1 is going to be easy. It's your first week. So you're going to take a quiz on that reading, and it's mainly computer history and things about, algorithms and stuff like that. So it's not real intense stuff. It's just a basic overview kind of stuff. And then what you're going to do is you're going to create a Replit account if you don't have one. If you have one, you're going to create a Repel in there and you're going to share it with me. And I will have a video on how to do that. And that's all you're going to have to do for Unit 1. So we'll dig into more programming stuff in Unit 2, but that's all you're going to have to do for Unit 1. If I have it up sooner, if I have a second exercise up sooner, but I don't like to bombard you with too much stuff the first week. And again, the week will go from Wednesday starting the 18th to the 24th, which is the following Tuesday. And then we will start Unit 2. So we're always going to go Wednesday to Tuesday. And if you don't get something done in time, that's okay. Do it the next day. I'm not going to give you an F if it came in late or anything like that, but just try to stay on schedule because we have a lot of stuff to do this semester. So this stuff will all be open the 18th. It's not open yet, and it should all be due to 24th. And again, if you turn it in the 25th, that's okay. Don't get all uptight about due dates just because it says 11:55. And, don't email me at 11:45 panicked that you can't get something done because you had to work or you didn't feel good or whatever. It's not a big deal. Just get it done because we're going to be able to turn it in with add comment, and you could do that at any time, so it won't close out on you. Quizzes will close out on you, but I usually give you an extra week, so don't worry about that either. So this is the first week stuff. It's pretty easy stuff. Do the survey, reply to my email, do the student introduction, put a pick in if you want, read this stuff, take the quiz, and do this little exercise. So that's all you should have to do for next Tuesday. Then we'll start digging into stuff for the second unit. Once we make sure that I have everybody, and I know everybody's email, and I know everybody created an account, and I know they can share their repels with me and all that. I just want to get all that stuff together first before we dig in too much this semester with stuff, especially in an online class. I like to get to know people just a little bit. That's why I like to do all this and do surveys and introductions, so I know what I'm dealing with. But when we jump into things, sometimes we have people who are beginners, sometimes people have a lot of background, so I never know what to expect in an online class. So that's why I do that. So I'm not going to get into too much stuff the first week. So we'll take it slow the first week until I find out where everybody's at. I don't want to intimidate anybody, nor do I want to make things seem like it's going to be too, elementary for people if you're a little more advanced. So we'll see how things go as we progress. So anyway, that's pretty much all you need to know in MyWarren. If you have any problems with your logins or anything like that, I think they have a forgot password thing. If you don't know your password, you log in here with your ID number. And I think if you need to change your email or anything like that, you can go up here. I think under profile settings is where you can change your email that you're using in MyWarren yourself. I can't do that. So if you reply to my email and say, I want to use a different email, I can't do anything about it. You can change it yourself. I think that's all I need to show you in this course tour for now. So I'll go over more things or anything that I forgot, but that's the basics for MyWarren for now. Your survey, don't send me an angry email because you'll get an F on it when you first do it, and then I will update it, and I think that's it. And again, this stuff will be open on the 18th. You'll have a syllabus available. You'll have your Cengage book, your course key will be there. And then also gradebook. I just want to point out something in gradebook for people who don't do anything, which is every semester there's somebody who doesn't do something. Just because an assignment doesn't close, it doesn't always give you a 0. So you may think you have like an A grade. If you haven't done anything, you don't have an A grade. It just means that it hasn't closed out yet and hasn't given you a 0. So sometimes I'll leave things open so that people can get things done. But keep in mind, if you're not doing anything, you're not going to pass the course. And I do have people who don't do anything. So don't be one of those people, and don't wait till May to start doing things and to try and catch up. Stay caught up. We'll go slow in the beginning and we'll be fine. If you have any questions, email me. If you need any help, if you ever need to come on campus and go over something's really confusing you or whatever, you need to do a Zoom meeting, go to meeting, whatever it is, let me know. Email me anytime. That's the easiest way to get in touch with me, is emailing me. Even before you put something in a comment. If you're really stuck on something, don't put it in a comment, because I may not see it until I'm actually grading things. I don't get those as emails. And also, when you email me, always put what course you're in. Always put, hey, this is, whoever from CSC121, because then I can look it up right away. Don't just say, hey, can you reopen that quiz? Because I have 6 different courses that I'm teaching. So I just want to point that out. It'll just be easier for me to take care of things if you put what course you're in, to take care of any problems you may have. So I hope you enjoy the semester. I hope we have fun in here, and we'll get started on the 18th.